Welcome to the Qualified Tutor podcast. I'm your host, Ludo Miller, and I'll be interviewing tutors and thought leaders from across the tutoring landscape to inspire, inform, and motivate you to become the best tutor you can be. The Qualified Tutor community is a safe and supportive space for tutors who love to learn and grow. We offer training, resources, ideas, and a chance to connect with like-minded tutors. If you'd like to continue the conversation, join our Qualified Tutor community at www.qualifiedtutorcommunity.org or find it in the show notes. As we come to the end of our most ambitious Qualified Tutor cohort yet, we reflect on the progress that we've made, both with the content of the course, the delivery, and with the engagement that we've seen with our participants. As the cohort size grows, we've never wanted to lose any of that personable and collaborative nature that one gets by taking this 4-week course with live workshops and the engagement on the community alongside it. With this, we built extra capacity for the course, and we feel that it's really shown in the way that these participants that we have had with us for the past 4 weeks have taken our content further and built on what we provide them. This cohort was largely made up of tutors from the agency Manning's Tutors, who have really supplied and provided an extra layer of complexity and depth to the course that we have. As the tutoring industry in the UK builds up to the NTP tuition partner decisions at the end of October, Qualified Tutor is building capacity and scale in its flagship course, the Qualification for Tutors Tier 1, before moving on to progressing our tutors through the following tiers up to Tier 5. We will soon be launching our coaching programme, which will see qualified facilitators and tutor trainers follow our tutors into the schools that they work with to cover quality assurance, training and monitoring, and simply to ensure that qualified tutors receive the best care and support that they can after they've completed Tier 1. But for now, listen and learn from our soon-to-be qualified tutor graduates as they describe and explain the effectiveness and the help that the Qualification for Tutors has brought to them. What I'd like to ask first is, and we can just do this by a raise of hands if you've got something, is what have you learnt from this course? Ella, please.
Being a relatively new tutor, I've been tutoring for about a year now. I really enjoyed learning about the experiences of tutors who've been doing it for a longer time. I could also tell you about all the information and knowledge that I gained about how to be a good tutor, how to foster like a positive relationship with the student and all that. But for me, I think what was really valuable is to know how being a good tutor is possible, and hearing people's experiences has been very useful for me.
Yeah, brilliant. That's great to hear that you've learned from other participants. Michelle, please.
Okay, thank you. My favourite one was the course last week and the Tutors Toolkit, and my favourite part was actually reassessment. And last week made me realise that I personally neglect the reassessment a lot, and made me realise how important it is, as well as dual coding. And the most emotional part for me was the first week where we were talking about safeguarding, and it made me realise how I was let down, but I was so glad that we have this training, because future tutors are not going to let their students down. And yeah, that made me really optimistic for the future. And I'm going to get emotional again, so I'll stop talking.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for sharing.
I think the most important thing that I've learned from this is to always create like an environment of trust. And I think this is happening right now, between us, like week by week, we've created an environment of trust in the breakout rooms, and always with different people. And I think this is the thing that I'm going to take out the most from this course, and I'm going to try to do it in in my tutoring as much as I can. And together with this, I think I've learned that we need to enjoy every tutoring session, and trying to balancing between being a friend and being a lecturer. But I think the most important thing is to enjoy teaching, and if you enjoy it, then of course the students will enjoy it, and this creates the best environment as possible. And this is happening right now. So I think this is the most important thing that I've taken from this course. So thank you.
Yeah, we all remember our funnest teachers, and it's exactly the same for tutors as well. So exactly, arriving every time with a smile on your face that really leaves a lasting impression. Fabiola, I'm sure that you do that. Rosanna, please do share.
First of all, I think I've learned a great deal, kind of like what was saying before by Ella, about actually understanding different tutors' perspectives on things and getting as much knowledge as you can from people that are kind of doing this, whether they've been doing it for longer than you or sort of around the same length of time. It doesn't really matter. I kind of learned as well. So I went in with a bit of a misconception that I'm not going to learn anything from someone who tutors maths or, a subject that's completely, different to what I teach. But actually, I found that that's really not the case, because it's not just an academic thing that we're doing with the students. I think that's really been emphasised today in today's session. So even just kind of, techniques to build up a relationship, to build trust, to implement the 7 Ps of professionalism, that's very subject agnostic. And I think being open to hearing so many different perspectives from different people, that's just been really, really helpful. And the main thing I think that I've taken away from it is introducing as many activities as you can for the students, making it fun, which I think is easier said than done sometimes, particularly when students can be feeling quite negative. But I think, introducing quizzes, revising stuff, and not putting this pressure on yourself to, have loads and loads and loads of information that you want to shove on a child, risking cognitive overload, that kind of thing. Actually just revising what you've been doing and trusting in yourself that what you're doing is working, and you can learn from different people. That's been great.
It's not every day that we get to sit in a meeting, whether it's virtual or online, and share our experiences with very, very like-minded people. So thank you very much, Rosanna. It's been excellent having you. Johnny, was there something that you wanted to add as well? Dave, I promise we will get to you.
Yeah, sure, I can add some stuff. I was similar to Rosanna. I wasn't expecting to learn so much, given that this was, originally going to be training for our new recruits. And I'm the least new recruit that there is, apart from Johnny Manning himself. I was really surprised at how much actually I found that if I were to go and tutor more, that I would actually be able to bring into my own tutoring as well. A couple of the things that probably stood out for me the most were the culture of learning that we talked about in the first class. In particular, sort of a lot of things to do with the 7 Ps. Lots of all virtues that I'm sure we all value very highly. But I think I had previously understated the impact that they have on the students' attitude, and not just, they're not just things that we do to please our clients and the parents. And we're not just punctual because it would look bad for the school if we weren't there or something. It's, if you're the difference between being 2 minutes early and 2 minutes late to a lesson can completely change the way that your student interacts with you. And it's not at all just to do with, ticking the box of professionalism, but it has a profound impact on your relationship with the student. So even though these were things that I'd previously encouraged and, always held myself to a high standard for, I think I was potentially in part doing it for the wrong reasons. And it's interesting to see that, there really is this whole other side to it. The second thing that I would change about my tutoring, if I were to do a lot more of it, would be a lot more of plan. Wait, hang on, I'm going to get this. Assess, plan, teach, reassess. And in particular, in particular, I think when everyone does the teach part of that, hopefully, and I think a lot of people plan, but I don't think that many people assess. Maybe maybe you have like a QLA and you have some topics that you want to focus on. So okay, this is the students' weak points. So we'll do we'll do this topic. So I plan that lesson, I do the lesson, and maybe you even reassess as well. But what I think I've learned from QT is there is this very, very great depth to which you can go when assessing a student, and what will be the best way to teach them. It's not just going to be what do they need to learn, but how are they best going to learn it? What are you going to bring from your toolbox in order to do that? It's not just going to be what is the topic? Here is a worksheet on the topic, print it out and go. It's going to be exactly. Which aspects? Well, what things does my student respond to the best? And that's different for every student, of course. So there's not just a one size fits all, which I think can be very easy to. It's very convenient, isn't it? Wouldn't it be brilliant if students were one size fits all, that you could just teach everyone in the exact same way? But just the depth of assess, like that assess box can be massive, depending on the students that you're working with. So I think that's the most neglected out of those four. Maybe not for everyone, but probably for me.
Yeah. Suddenly thought I got these really dystopian thoughts about there being one lesson plan for every student. So you're talking about one size fits all. That would be a terrifying thought. And now a brief word from our founder, Julia Silva.
If you'd like to hear more about the ideas we touch on here, or gain the tools to take your own tutoring to the next level, the Qualification for Tutors could be for you. This live online seminar is facilitated by industry experts who, over 4 Zoom workshops, will cover the foundations of teaching and learning and how it relates to you as a tutor. The workshops are full of rich discussions where you'll learn alongside other tutors and connect on a professional level. We will teach you how to be the kind of tutor every child remembers. Visit our community space at qualifiedtutorcommunity.org and sign up now for our transformative course. We'll see you there.
Dave, please do share.
Yeah, I just wanted to sort of give a point of view from someone who's been tutoring for that bit longer, I suppose. Because when you've been tutoring, however long you've been tutoring, you make mistakes and that becomes your experience. And you build your own personal set of kind of boundaries and models and ideas. But coming into this course and seeing the models that you've given us for our tutor toolkit and how they match very closely, that's very confidence giving, I suppose. We all, you build up your own personal way and you think, oh, well, that's my way. That's how I've always done it. But to have some actual academic backing to that really gives you that boost in confidence, I suppose, that you've been doing it right all along and that your experience does count for something. But it's also interesting, I think, as a couple of people have said, how those models are applicable across specialisms, because that's not an easy thing to do, to have something everyone will have learnt for their specialism. They'll have their own models and their own academics, but actually having something that can be that one level up, what makes a good tutor just on the broad base, I think that's been really well done and come across very clearly. And I think that having that meta language to be able to describe it has been really useful for me. Because if someone had said before, well, how do you tutor? I could only have done it by personal example. Now I've actually got the language to be able to say, 7 Ps, respond. So yeah, for me, that was a good antidote to imposter syndrome, definitely.
something else that we're trying to conquer here. We've all felt it, Dave. We've all felt it. Some of us, in fact, still do. Yes, thank you, Julia. Madhura, is there something that you wanted to share on this subject?
Yeah. So basically, massive thanks to everyone. First of all, in breakout rooms, they're amazingly amazingly done, and it is really good to have the views from different people. I've been actually speaking. I've been tutoring from last 18 years, and it is a little different for me. Like, okay, we have done all those trainings in schools and colleges, so it's keep on happening. But this is something which is getting the views from beyond academics, because wherever I'm teaching or I've been teaching, it's more like academics where GCSE A levels getting grades. And it's more like what school wanted, rather than looking beyond or studying students beyond that about their mental health and how to deal with that. So because I'm more in the private sectors where fee-paying parents are there, and we have to just looking into more academics and nothing more. But I think after this course, it's really good to know how to deal with this mental health, and basically there is beyond academics how to deal with that pressure, and how to basically helping students to deal with that pressure. This is the best lesson. This is the best session for me. So today's session where, okay, if they have that pressure, or if there is some support it's needed, and how to deal with that one. And in the breakout room, we did talk about a lot, and your workbooks are quite helpful. So yeah, thanks for that, really. Yeah.
Thank you, Madhura. That's very very rewarding kind of words, and very brilliant to hear that it's had that effect. Amazing to have someone of your experience, 18 years, join us on the course. We've often talked about the value that it brings having those who are new to tutoring and those who are experienced tutors in the same learning environment. I think for us facilitators, that really adds so much. It almost creates more teachers within the group. I know that the best cohorts, including this one, have been the one where there are differences in level. Just like in this group, there are English tutors, science tutors, maths tutors, there are tutors of primary, secondary, university. Having this diversity really adds value and adds depth, and those aren't just throwaway words. That really is what we're seeing in the breakout rooms and in the feedback rooms, and also in the weekly tasks, which have really grown and grown as the weeks have gone on. And I would just like to, I have a little plug here as well. Sorry, Julia, I have a little plug here as well, which is I really want you guys to continue to contribute after the end of the Tier 1. Of course, there'll be Tier 2 courses rolling out, but if any of you have ideas or even written blogs or articles that you have, including kind of some of the things, building on some of the things that we've been saying here, then please do let me know. There's a blog writing group in the community, and it's an amazing platform for us to be able to publish the ideas and thoughts of those people who can now very rightly consider themselves QTs. I know I always laugh amongst my friends calling our qualified tutors QTs, but seeing as we shorten qualified tutor to QT, we can certainly call you guys QTs. So please do let me know if you have any ideas for that. It will really build on the work that we've done here. Julia is absolutely bursting with something to say, so I won't hold her any longer.
Thank you. It's awkward, I know. So you were talking about sharing ideas, and Georgina just said about practicing what we preach, and how tutors are doing this all the time. And Dave and I agree that professional development is the best cure for imposter syndrome. And so we have a new project, and we're going to launch it next week. Next Wednesday night, and you've got the hang of Wednesday nights now, so I really, really hope you're going to attend. We're going to do a one-off free event, which is going to launch a new offering. It's going to be a weekly planning meeting where we're going to invite you to come and join us in an open event, and we'll organize you into your subject groups. And you'll be able to plan whatever you've got going on for the next week, whoever you're going to be tutoring, if it's 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 sessions. We'll give you a learning loop template, and we'll make sure that we put you with people who can add value to your offering. So Johnny Barnsley and I, we were talking about this last week, we were saying that much more helpful if you're working within your subject specialism in this case. So we're going to offer it to the whole community, which is 350 very experienced tutors. And nobody's done this before. Nobody's planned tutoring sessions together, especially with a framework that we've already learned together. So I think that it's going to be a really fruitful way for you to basically get all your planning done for the week in 1 hour, which has got to be a good idea, right? So this time next week, 7:45, next Wednesday night, we're going to invite you to join this weekly planning meeting, and we'll see how it goes together. And it could be a really exciting new thing that QT can offer you to help you to just to organize yourselves as tutors and continue to level up, because that's what it's all about. So unless there are any more questions, I'm handing back to Ludo. Off you go.
Thank you very much, Julia. That's kind of like a mid-pod advert. So thank you very much for that. But that's a really exciting new proposition. And I was just about to type in there before Julia handed back. There won't actually be 350 tutors there, if any of you are worried about even 32 people being too much. Sorry, Julia, there just won't be. I'm sorry. But we don't want to kind of curtail this without giving everyone a final chance. I said there in the chat earlier, if there's any highlights that you guys have that listeners who are considering taking the course or who are feeling like tutor training is the next step in their progress could really latch onto, then please do share them here. But if there's no more to say, then thank you all very much for your contributions. As I said, this podcast will go out very soon. I think you guys summed up this the teaching and the learning that we've been through in this cohort very well. It's been our biggest cohort yet, our most exciting cohort yet, our most ambitious cohort yet. So thank you all for being part of it. I hope you have enjoyed it. I know that I am looking forward to Wednesday nights more and more now. And really, there's a whole lot more to come on the community and further on. So do stay tuned. Thank you very, very much.
Good night. Thanks so much to you, Michelle, to you, Madhura, to you, Rosanna.
Thanks very much.
Alex. Thanks, Beatrice. Thanks,
you.
Heather.
Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Thanks, Julia, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks,
See you
Sophie.
soon.
Thanks for listening to the Qualified Tutor podcast, where tutors share their expertise to support the tutoring community. If you'd like to continue the conversation, join our Qualified Tutor community at www.qualifiedtutorcommunity.org or find it in the show notes below. We exist to connect, share, and learn with you, because tutoring is a small job that makes a big difference.